Hey, it's Rick again. I think if you ask anybody in my business the most asked questions that we get as we help people prepare for retirement, they'll tell you that it's about Social Security, especially as it comes to spouses, divorcees, and widows. So let's cover that ground here in this class. I think you'll find it helpful. And let me apologize up front for the sexist language. I understand that widows and widowers can be he's and she's, and retired spouses and parent-raising spouses can be male and female, just in the interest of not having to say he, she every time I'm using he's and she's for the traditional roles, with no disrespect intended. So a spousal benefit is one half the primary worker's benefit, and that benefit that I'm talking about is the primary insurance amount for Social Security when the client or insured reaches full retirement age. Remember, I asked you to write down PIA and FRA in the first Social Security tape, so that's what this is. So if we have John, whose primary insurance amount is $2,000, and Jane's, based on her work record, is only $800, Jane can apply at her full retirement age for her benefit of $1,000, half of John's. She can apply earlier, by the way, at age 62, and then it will be a percentage of that $1,000. But and it goes up a little every year. But that's the basis of it. Is it's essentially half. So that's the best thing to know for that. Now the rules for spousal benefits are this: the primary worker must have filed for benefits himself. So if he's not collecting, she can't. The spouse must be at least 62 for the reduced benefit, or 66 for her full benefit. And remember, I don't know if you remember how I said that if somebody can put off getting Social Security past their full retirement age, their monthly check actually increases by 8% for every year that they wait. It doesn't work for spousal benefits, so you might as well collect it when you hit 66 as a spouse. Divorced spouse benefits, and I put it in red because everybody seems to want to know this one, are the same as spousal benefits, okay? If the marriage lasted 10 years or more, the person receiving the divorced spouse benefit is currently unmarried, and the ex-spouse is at least age 62. So you can collect as a spouse on your ex. And if the divorce was more than 2 years ago, the ex-spouse does not need to have filed for benefits himself. So if you reach retirement age, and if your ex is doing great and hasn't retired yet, you don't have to tell him, you don't have to call him, you can just apply as spousal if that's the best course of action for you. Now here's the rules for that, for getting a divorce spousal. More than one ex-spouse can receive benefits on the same worker's record, so there's no issue with that. Benefits paid to one ex-spouse do not affect those paid to the worker, the current spouse, or other ex-spouses. And divorce spouse benefits stop upon remarriage of spouse collecting the benefits, when theoretically you should be able to become somebody else's spouse on their social. It doesn't matter if the ex remarries or not. That has nothing to do with it. If the spouse dies while both are receiving benefits, the widower or widow can switch to the higher benefit. So let's go to Joe and Julie here. They're both over full retirement age. Joe was getting $2,000, Julie was getting $1,200, and then if Joe dies, Julie tells Social Security about it, and she replaces her $1,200 benefit with a $2,000 survivor benefit. So that's a financial planning opportunity, though. We look at that when we sit down and begin doing retirement planning, because Julie loses her own $1,200 check there. She gets $800 more than she was getting on her own, but she loses that $1,200. So she goes from $3,200 a month down to $2,000. So when you're doing retirement planning, you want to be sure you have a contingency plan in place to take care of that. Now, if they're both not collecting yet, right, then the survivor benefit will depend upon the age at which the deceased spouse originally claimed his benefit, or the age at which he died. And if he claimed before his full retirement age, then the survivor benefit will be limited to the higher of the deceased spouse's benefit, or at least 82.5% of his primary insurance amount. If he claimed after full retirement age, then the survivor benefit will include his delayed credits. So if a guy didn't collect until he was, say, 70, so he got that 8% a year boost in his monthly check, then his widow could continue to get that full benefit with the increased credits built into it. So that's pretty powerful for someone who isn't sure if they need Social Security or not. When they're in retirement and delays credits, the longer you wait, the more your spouse will get. And especially for a younger spouse, that can turn into a lot of money. And then it also depends on the age at which the widow claims the survivor benefit, because it's based on her age too. And if she claims before her full retirement age, her survivor benefit will be a percentage of the original benefit. And she can claim as early as age 60, by the way. She doesn't have to wait till 62. And if she waits until her full retirement age or later, then her survivor benefit will be equal to 100% of her deceased spouse's benefit. The rules for survivor benefits are: the couple must have been married at least 9 months at date of death, except in case of accident. Fill in your own joke there. Survivor must be at least 60 for reduced benefits, 50 if disabled, or full retirement age for full benefit. And the survivor's benefit is not available if the widow or widower remarries before age 60 or 50 for a disabled survivor, unless that marriage ends, in which case they can go back to their deceased spouse's benefit. The divorced spouse survivor benefit is available if the marriage lasted at least 10 years. So if you were married for at least 10 years and your ex has passed away, you can get theoretically his full benefit depending on circumstances. So that's worth looking into. So that's it. That's the basis of it. I think the takeaway from it that a lot of people, at least that I talk to, come away from it is you don't have to have your ex's permission to collect as their spouse. So they don't have to sign off on it if it's been more than 2 years. And that's nice. A lot of people are relieved about that. That's a conversation that you don't have to have. I hope these little lessons are helping you. I know they're not as in-depth and in detail as perhaps you'd like them to be, but I have great software and a lot of experience, and I'd be happy to help you figure out your own situation if you give me a call. Thanks.